And with that, I think we are ready. We are ready to go. Oh man, we are super late. My bad. Okay, and we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a tri-weekly D&D homebrew campaign set in the homebrew world of Imea. This is our Wednesday night crew, the Mongoose crew. Everybody wave and say hi. Look at how excited they are. They're so excited. So we are jumping in from the underwater nation of Honoria. And I believe we are good to go on everything. So, Royal Scribe, please do the honors.
Yeah, so there's a lot that happened last time, but the gist of it is, so Theron and Wilbur kind of have a moment where Theron realizes that her body feels very different, and Gerard does not like it at all, and Wilbur wakes up to Theron basically shaking him, and he freaks out and is terrified of Theron. So Wilbur and Theron have a discussion. She tells him about the contract that she signed. Wilbur asks Theron if she's going to kill him. And Navos is also in that room as well. Even though everyone else passed out, he's awake. And he is very concerned by some of the things he's hearing Theron say. And then Theron basically explains to Wilbur that if she didn't make this deal, he would have, I think they both would have died. And then from Wilbur, Theron learns Venesepa's name, which makes her feel very bad and gets the feeling that that name is dangerous and that there's no place to hide from him. And so in that, it's a very sweet moment between them because I don't know if the characters realize it, but out of character, we realize Theron and Wilbur are now connected in a deeper way that they weren't before. And Theron accidentally said fake Volmos out loud while a 10-year-old is in the room, and so Navos heard that. But Theron just told him that it's complicated. So Illirin and Guar talk some more and have more of their fun conversations until Eldrin comes into the room. Basically, Eldrin asks her to trust her and then invites Noros and Milo in and reveals the body of Volmos. Guar heals him, and Eldrin tries to bait Volmos into stabbing her, and basically tries to get Tal to take control of him because she doesn't trust him. And then it basically ends with a long overdue heart-to-heart between Eldrin and her mom, lots of tears, and both of them believing Volmos that at least some of him is in there. Milo almost loses control of himself because of the emotions in the room. He can't handle it. But he is able to fight it and keep hold of himself during his transformation, which I think is a first for him to be cognizant during it, which is very exciting. Let's see. Sorry, I have a lot of notes on this thing, and I'm trying to go through pages. During all this, Guar has a pang of longing for his own family and thinks about his mother, brother, and father. And besides that, let's see. Okay. So Wilbur and Theron walk into the heaviest situation ever. And then after that, Eldrin and Ilrin spend time alone with Volmos. When everyone leaves the room, Wilbur runs into Corvos, who asks if he's seen his daughter or the queen, and she says no. And Corvos tells him that there is an escaped prisoner and to be careful. Illirin and Eldrin agree it's best to wait to tell Corvus about Volmos. That night, Norith keeps watch over basically Eldrin and Volmos as they sleep, which causes him to have a level of exhaustion. And then also, Guar gives a prayer of thanksgiving to Bahamut and keeps thinking about wanting to find Celeste. Milo reverts back to his form before leaving the room and spends the evening with Duchess. He wakes up in werewolf form but recognizes he has full control, which is very exciting. Saren tries to get guidance from her patron, but that doesn't work, sadly. And Wilbur realizes he needs to figure out how to get in touch with Cerilius. And then when everyone wakes up, they all do their different things. Milo has a fun moment with Duchess where she destroys his satchel. Guar does his ritual and goes in search of his halberd at the Royal Forge and meets Kyrith and becomes friends with him. Wilbur goes in search for food and also tells Eldrin about the conversation that he had with Corvus. And Saren realizes that at least in one of her forms, she cannot trance, and that she's immune to exhaustion in her current state. So she goes out in search of Darius in the walls and basically helps his soul pass on. And then after that, she feels like she's back in her own body and she feels like she's herself again. And let's see. And heads to the kitchen to get some food. Eldrin has a conversation that morning and basically tells Volmouth that she's got things to do. He needs to stay in this room or he'll be killed. And let's see. And then we end with all of us surrounding the shell phone ringing. Sorry, that was a little disjointed. I had a lot of like.
Sorry, you're good.
Thank you.
So apologize to the streamers who sees just a big Discord volume thing popping up on your voices. I realized where the clipping point was, and it was at a different spot than I thought. So we should be good now. And if not, I apologize, but we should be pretty good. Very cool. Yeah, so we come right to the point where you are, I believe, so if I recall correctly, I think everyone is here. Everyone's kind of just in this room, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's including...
Corvus was here. I don't know if Illyrin is.
Okay. Yeah.
I had originally wanted the Keeper of Law, whatever his name is here, but it's okay if he's not. We can just... That was more when I wasn't a princess anymore.
Yeah, and I think I will say the Keeper of Law, so it's Jaros.
Yes, thank you.
I think I will say this. I kind of picture the Keeper of Law being absolutely set on the more of an understanding of Anorian law. But however, I mean, it's up to you. If you wanted him here, I could definitely.
No, we don't need to have him here right now because I feel like he's got his hands full with the interrogation that's going on with the Ixochitl and everything. So
yes, yeah, you just don't want him here because of his voice.
Yes, that is true. I hate his voice so much.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, cool. Well,
can I retcon one thing?
Sure, go for it.
On my way out of my room, can I find Generous in the hall or whatever or somewhere, and have him post a guard in front of my door and in front of the secret entrance door, and basically tell him not to ask any questions, but not to let anyone in if they are not with me, Noros, or my mother, and that includes Princess Anrin. She is not to be allowed in that room at all. Okay. And no one's allowed out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I believe Generous's first response would be secret passageway.
Yes. I can show you where.
Yep, just show me where. It's fine. I will just tell a guard to watch that hallway, I assume. The less they know, the better. Yeah, so I think you show him exactly where. you kind of like point to the air, and he just like kind of like puts like a hand over and just goes, "Neat, cool," and yeah, puts a guard there. That would be very confused just watching that part of the hallway. I think the way Jenners would probably explain it is don't anything that is out of the ordinary report to me. So, well, cool. All right. So, jumping back to the scene, so you were all like kind of sitting around the table. The large sort of shell again. So the shell is probably about this big. So it's like I imagine it being the like size of like a portable DVD player. If you guys remember those, the like flip sort of side with the screen and everything. So yeah, you feel like a reverberation from it. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You hear it vibrating, and you open it up and you see a slightly red-nosed little gnome with orange hair, sitting with basically like a background that is just there's just like panels of wood.
I think I have it positioned so that I'm sitting next to my father in front of it, and everyone else could be like around it, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Your father seems very impressed with this this machinery. But I will let.
He accidentally breaks it as he's trying to figure out like what.
He just kind of like leans into it, like where do I talk from?
Yeah.
But cool. I will say this because there's kind of an opportunity here to like you guys certainly can hear hear this whole conversation if you want to, or if you feel like it'd be better to be debriefed on this later. You could also do that. It's up to you guys, just to give the freedom if needed. Cool. All right.
I don't care either way.
I think it involves all of them. Because aren't all their names on this list?
I thought
except for Wilbur's, not Wilbur's.
Yeah.
Wilbur's, yeah, everyone but Wilbur's on this list.
Yeah.
They think that Wilbur got away and is Winona because they're racist.
Right. Yes. Cool. So, excuse me. Okay. Princess Edorath. Glad we could meet. I know we kind of missed our first meeting here. Okay. How are things?
Things could be better. How are things on land?
Oh well, it's been things could be better, I guess. Okay. Well, I guess down to business. Kind of like pulls up some papers, just kind of like slaps them on his desk. All right. So I have we have a court date scheduled to be able to basically kind of like a hearing to be able to hear out whether or not there needs to be a trial that is set. That is well. So it was either going to be 3 days from now or it was going to be 3 months. So I went ahead and set it to 3 days, assuming that is okay.
Do I need to be on land for that?
It would be. Hold on, let me see. Just 1 second.
Because I'm going to be frank with you, I'm not coming back on land if there's any possibility of me being put into a jail cell, because that doesn't benefit me in any way whatsoever.
Right. Well, Actually, technically doesn't say. It's just the hearing is posted. I'll find out more about that, whether or not we can do that. I will say it's it's unlikely. There is still, as it stands right now, you are still considered to be a criminal. So it is very hard to bargain with that chip.
Have you talked to anyone about the things that I brought up to you to the other night about Grinchelli or her hand in all of this?
I haven't. To be honest with you, the biggest reason why is you're putting some heavy accusations down, and I think we really just kind of needed to have a conversation about this before I went spouting off. I have to. The people that you're mentioning could cause a lot of strife even to me. So I figured it'd be best for us to kind of have you on a united front on that before anyone does anything.
At this point, I turn to my father and I say, I know that you don't have a very good relationship probably at the moment with King Isambardis, but as one king to another, do you think that you can speak to him on this?
I can certainly give it a shot. My first letter, if it did reach him, was probably pretty heated. So we'll see. I'll try. Karen goes, okay, great, cool. Certainly helps to have a king in your corner. Anyways, so let's say that with the hearing, you did have to be present on land for it. Do you need any accommodations or anything like that while you would be here? Is there anything that we would need to be kind of aware of on that side?
I just need to, I need to be ensured that me and my friends are not going to be put in a jail cell the minute we get back on land. I would like there to be an agreement that as we await trial and as we prepare for it, that everyone here is under the protection of Enoria and have that diplomatic protection and can reside here until those proceedings.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So just a thought that I had. Uh, would it be acceptable if you were able to be here for the to be on land for the hearing, in the understanding that you wouldn't uh, be put into jail until it was understood that a trial would be made?
Sure. Let's I just want to make it clear so that you are aware of what you're getting into as well. I have no intention whatsoever of going to jail, even if this trial becomes a sham and all of us
That
are.
yeah. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't
So,
really hear what you're saying.
if you really want to get involved with this, I think you should know what my intentions are. We did damage her property. We did aid and abet a known criminal, and we also used necrotic means to help them escape. All of which were things that had to be done because she is an evil bitch who killed my brothers and needs to be taken down.
Okay. Yep. Understood. I kind of missed some of that other part there, so I just wanted to make sure you understood that I couldn't hear the beginning of that. But yeah, that makes sense. And of course, that is definitely something to be taken into account. Just to be clear on this end, there are going to be certain things that are things as your attorney that I absolutely need to know. There's gonna be some things that I probably don't need to know as well, like just private things to be able to kind of like keep to yourself. And I don't
That
want
just seems
you.
inefficient. I look at my father. I'm like, that's inefficient, right? He
Yeah,
should.
I don't
It's
understand.
ridiculous.
Uh, uh, Karen, just so you know, the full weight of the Honorian arm. Yep, yep, no, yep, it's weird to hear that buzzing again. Cool.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
I
think,
will. Eldrin keeps going to. She's like, yes, the full weight will. There's this
yeah,
is a sham. You understand that, right?
sure, I understand how you can see it that way. The law is
And if this is how law on land is practiced, who would ever want to live there?
uh,
I mean, the sky is pretty nice, and like trees. There's a lot of upsides, and it's upside.
I will say the law here is definitely uh, it's definitely not perfect. I agree with you there. But
Because
uh, anyways, I don't think this is. Well, let's move forward. Um, so at this point, Karen starts to kind of converse with you because we don't need to roleplay all of this. Karen starts to
yeah,
converse with the idea of like what is the case that is being presented to
and yeah,
the. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I'm looking at my notes from back then too, and that was this is page 33 of 119, so I had to go really far back. Um, and
If you were all to flip to your hymnals, page
yeah,
33 of 119.
uh, he had said
And also with
originally
you.
that the yeah, and also with you, he had said originally that the instability in the Aenean court could be used to our advantage, and that there are a lot of holes in the accuser's story. So Eldrin
Yes.
would bring that up to see what he has to say about that.
Um, yeah, and he would fully agree. There's a lot of things that I would say from the level of where Grancelli is at. Grancelli, as far as the court is concerned, is just a and I want to make sure that I'm not making this up. Grancelli is considered to be a integral part of Nova Sol, right? As being a member of the Septenary, and that is the extent of her reach. So there's a point of just like understanding that she is in many ways a high up government employee, but definitely not. We're not talking royalty here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no level of that. There's just someone that is considered to be like a high up member of the of a controlling body that works underneath Eisenheim, essentially. So if you were to put it into like an idea of like a government sort of system, yeah, she's a government employee that is
Yeah.
not just a
So
worker, but definitely close to it.
yeah, with that stuff too, Eldrin would probably throw around. So with that explanation, that means so is Honoria in like is Honoria part of Imea?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking you, like, in the sense of, is King Eisenbardus technically supposed to be our king too, or no? Because we're like a different nation.
Yeah, technically you are a different nation. You are not. You are not technically under Imaean rule.
Okay.
So yeah. So
So
there is that. Yeah.
so then, does Honoria have a like? Are we allies normally, or like have like an agreement or something? I know that my father sent a very scathing
Yes.
letter, but
Yeah, I would say upon discovery from Imea, I would say probably haven't been that long ago. I'd say maybe 300 years ago or so.
okay,
Uh, there was an agreement that was designed strictly to be able to have both parties work um, in full freedom of each other. Um, there's no real responsibilities there. There was no strictly. The best way to put it is that IMEA didn't. I think from IMEA standards, like it's a place that the only real agreement was don't go to war with us. But
okay,
other than that, like you're your own thing. I guess a point of order to say is that Honoria has never been asked to help Aime in anything with like the oh my gosh, the war that was a number of years ago. So there was no call from
Okay.
Aimea to Honoria to help.
Which
out
would
with
make
that.
sense as to why my family didn't recognize Guar's last name.
Yes. Right.
Okay. So is the gist of it then like he's gonna find out more information and get back to us, or?
I think it's more of this like the idea of this was to actually like totally build the solid defense of like what we are expecting to be the main push of this trial. And obviously, the biggest part of that is actually putting Grencelli as the really pushing most of the fault on Grencelli for most of the things that had happened, and recognizing that self-defense is a weird way to put it, but like really it was like defending honor. From an Honorian standpoint, of which there's a. And actually, I'm sorry. This is something that I just thought of. There is some agreement made that is keeping the peace because Honoria has the like land trial stuff. I would say beforehand, either, and this is up to you. Beforehand, either Honoria just did that and like Aimea really didn't like understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Or they had decided to just go to a different like land. So that's also a possibility.
Maybe, yeah. I think as long as like history-wise, they probably always have been like going onto land for like these trials because it's a whole learning thing. But maybe I didn't realize it. They're like, we see these people once in a while.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I would like, obviously, Karen is helping you out with this, but I would like you, and you don't have to do this today if you don't want to, but to give like basic points of like what we need to be focusing on to be able to make this this trial work. So,
cool.
Do you want to just give that to me later, or?
Yeah, I can just give that to you later. I'll think about it, and that's cool.
Cool, awesome. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Natural 20.
Wow. Okay, cool. So you
So 28.
Nat 20. Okay. So with a Nat 20 in this conversation that you're having with Karen, you learn a couple things. One, especially in the beginning, Karen is easily flustered by the conversation that's happening with you. But as the I'll say that this probably goes on for, I think, at least, and like probably closer to like 2 hours. You learn that like as Karen gets more comfortable with you, you learn that he is very careful on how he is perceived by people he doesn't know too much about. But as you guys kind of becoming close during this conversation, you get the feeling that like Karen actually is a pretty good attorney in terms of like extremely aggressive on the and like knowing pretty much all of the loopholes and like focusing on this specific sort of loophole thing in a way that with a Nat 20 almost seems like conniving. Which in this instance is totally okay because that works in your favor. But you kind of catch from that easily able to abuse the law in ways. So
And I'll say because I just thought of something like towards like some point in the conversation I say, what if we can get a witness, someone who was there and saw what happened, and
like someone like a real witness.
like I'm a little. Eldrin looks a little kind of side eyes her father and just sighs and says, "If a body could be recovered in Nova Sol, there are spells that can be cast on said body, where they will recount what happened."
Okay, cool. For the rest of you, the group, you see that Corvos like kind of like looks really confused by that statement. But Karen goes, "Oh, okay. Well, that is better than what I was gonna do."
What were you going to do?
I'm sorry, I don't know. And like this, what was that? When you had a question? I will say with the
Karen.
nat 20, this is at this point like the like you're catching things like there's a possibility that Karen was going to make up a witness.
Oh, okay. And I say, is it possible? Do you have anyone in Nova Sol? I mean, the person who was supposed to retrieve this body, Huxley, I'm aware is in jail.
Mhm.
So I don't know if Grancelli has already made it disappear, but that could be very helpful.
Made Mr. Whetstone disappear? Is that what you're saying?
No, no. The body that I needed to retrieve my brother's body that was left behind in Nova Sol.
I see.
I was trying to be delicate because it's a very sensitive subject.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, no,
Does
so
my dad still look confused?
less confused for sure.
Okay.
Kind of just crosses his arms a little bit. Takes like a big like like to that. But I think also your father like fully understands the. It certainly doesn't rub him the right way, but I think you get the feeling that he understands that in that situation. Actually, point of order. Do we know where the body is now?
It was last left at the Lucky Star Inn.
Okay.
That's all we know, and that was weeks ago.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be. I could find out what happened to that. Yep, I can find that out.
Okay.
I'll also say because a nat 20 is pretty good. With a nat 20, you surmise that without any help from you, and I'll say like Karen kind of just explains this sort of straight up. Karen can't ensure that Grancelli will be held accountable to the full extent of the law for those actions, but Karen does present a pretty good case to put this in a questionable turn enough to be able to say there is no proof here that you.
Yeah. So, and yeah, that Eldrin will say that's perfectly sufficient. All you need to do is worry about my friends and I and making it so that we can safely come back to land. We will take care of Grancelli.
It's so weird. Like this connection, it's very strange. Anyways, yeah. So
Me and
I
Guar
will
high
say,
five.
I because I want to give you everything with this natural. I will say, like mechanically speaking, without any help from you, there's about you feel pretty confident that it is in. You have I'd say close. And then this again, this is with no help from you or the party. You have about a 60% chance of this working.
Okay.
Um. And
Oh, and I do tell him too. I say you can also seek out Merc. He was there, and he can tell you more about what happened. And you can seek out his party as well. He'll know what you're talking about.
Okay, last name.
I look at Guar. Guar, do you have a last name?
I look at Eldrin. I know it was written down. I'm completely blanking on it.
I don't think Merc had a last name.
Merc.
I don't think Merc did. And
Okay.
I say
Merkin?
I
Is
describe
that?
him. Oh God, I describe him as like he's really tall. He really likes. Wait, did you guys spend time with? Did he go to Norris's bachelor party?
Well, he was already there, but he joined us. I mean,
Okay, that's weird. Why
Okay.
is he?
Yeah, he didn't get like an invitation. I don't think.
Okay.
You describe him and okay. You describe him. You get about like halfway to the description of it, and you just hear Karen go, "That's enough. I'll find him."
Okay. But yes, and one more thing. I mean, I think bring up too that I am more than willing to go under oath of a cleric. They can cast Zone of Truth on me to answer any questions that they may have. My ask is that Grincelli also would be there and is under that same compulsion. And the cleric will know for sure that I am not lying, because that spell allows them to know if I purposely failed it.
I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. For this to work as a trial and not like a clear like, oh, this is the part of there is we'll say above board. I have to say that like there are ways to break Zone of Truth.
Okay.
And I will say that below board, the Iman knows that. So they're willing to use it, but knowing that if someone is powerful enough, they can.
Okay. Cool.
They can break through that.
Yeah, and then at the end, I'll turn to like everyone else in the room. So like Milo, Guar, and Saren, and be like, you guys have the floor. Is there anything you wanted to talk to him about? Saren, I know that you're concerned about Huxley. I think I would love if it was like just this quietness in the room. Like,
I'm sorry. Is there really? Do we really have a misconnection?
No. I don't think anyone else wants to talk to you. Is the impression that I'm getting in this room.
Hey, just another Wednesday. Okay. Well, if there is any communication that you and your party wants to, go ahead. Looks like you're
if you can retrieve my bag from whoever has it, I think you told me that it was in the hands of the authorities. There are some things that I have that could be used as evidence as well. We did take an orb from the cult that could be traced back probably somehow to Grincelli, because it is part of their cult.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's been confiscated, but it was in my handy haversack, and they have to know what they're looking for when they put their hand in to get it, unless they turn it upside down and inside out, which maybe they did.
Yes. Sorry, let me just think of this. What is more important to you? Do you want to get the bag back to your belongings to be used to help your case, or to ensure that you absolutely have them. This is during
ensure
your
that
nat
I
20. What?
yeah, and I say
What?
ensure that I absolutely have them.
Understood. And the hint on that was basically saying like it would be if you were to go that route, it would most likely not be able to use to be able to help your case, at least in a way of saying like we got this from the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, so I basically so since no one else in the group wants to say anything, I turn to my father. I say, "Is there anything you want to add?"
Yes. What I was trying to say before. Again, if this doesn't turn out in my daughter's favor, I will come down hard on Amaya with the full extent of the. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. Well, that is all. I think I hear some. Oh, okay. Yep. I hear someone calling my name. Is there anything else? We're gonna call it here.
No, we've had a very rough night, and we have some people we need to resurrect. So it'd be great if we could, finish this up.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck. Good luck bringing those bodies. Okay. All right. Goodbye.
You don't need luck when you have the power of persona.
You don't need luck. Click.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to honor with that nat 20, because there's a lot that you. I think the only thing I will say
I want to know what each member of my party was thinking at that moment.
Well, I mean, that's up to them, but I will say you get the feeling that I think with a nat 20, you get the, when you met Karen, Karen seemed to be very down on his luck, right?
He was a drunk.
Yeah, basically, yeah, a total drunk. And it sounds like there's probably more of a story than just that. When you recognize that, like, from your viewpoint, like, he looks like he very much knows what he's talking about. So therefore he should be a relatively successful lawyer. He's not, he doesn't show the, like, anything that presents that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't want to. I want other people to be able to talk, but there are a couple things I want to do. So.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So while you guys are listening to this, is there anything that you guys are doing, or any like thoughts that are kind of going through your mind while this is going on? Also, things that could help the trial too would be makes sense to mention them.
I think while all this is happening, I don't think Guar's even paying attention that much. I think Guar's really like mentally retracing his steps to try to find Celeste.
Okay.
Guar's just like having like an ADHD kind of like daydream.
I do ask Karen though, because Guar just made me think of it. I asked Karen if it would be beneficial that, because Amon Amarth is a well-known name in Imea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I say I do bring that up because I don't think he ever said Guar's last name. So if Guar's not paying attention at all, that's fine. But at some point I say, well, we also have an Amon Amarth among us who is one of the accused. Is that going to help us or hurt us?
What did you need? Oh shit.
Yeah, Karen says, you have a nat 20. With a nat 20, you see Karen go, oh, okay, oh, at the bottom earth. Fully, like, aware that Karen absolutely knows that. Like,
he knew already. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew already. You get the feeling with Karen that Karen definitely works on both sides of the law, in a way of like he is especially good you get the feeling that he is, I wouldn't say good's not the right word, but especially confident on finding people and things about people.
Well, that's good.
So yeah, you see him kind of like make a big show of like, oh, okay, wow, okay, that's a big name, all right. Nat 20 is killing me because like anything past that would just be like, I think you would, or anything below that you would kind of like get the feeling of like, man, I don't know how this is gonna go. This guy seems a little bumbly.
Yeah.
But with
It's
a nat
perfect.
20, you get it that it's pretty much all an act.
Okay.
Cool. I was going to share the document with you, but I guess I don't have a lot down. Yeah, you'll probably do better than me on marking that up. So I'll actually, there's no reason to delete it. I'll just leave it be.
I'll just delete it.
Yeah, I just started deleting when I was ready. Cool. So let's do this. So Guar, you're, and I guess I'm a little confused. I'm wondering if you're having a different understanding of where Celeste is right now.
Probably.
Celeste
I mean,
being the entity, right? Not the
yes.
weapon.
No, I have the weapon.
Right.
No, I'm talking about Celeste, the entity. I mean, all Gore knows at this point is that he blacked out at a couple different places, and that might lead him to figure out, at least get on the way to figuring out where Celeste went and how to reunite.
I see.
But at the very least, I want to, retrace my steps and see what happened when I blacked out.
Right. Okay. Very cool. All right, I get it now. So you're basically saying that what happened recently must be attributed to where Celeste is now, and
At least give me some clues. Yeah.
If I can pick up those pieces, then I would know. Yep. Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You also have gear to pick up, right?
Yeah, I do, which I don't need anymore. I might just give it to someone else.
Hey, give it to me. I have nothing.
That's true. I was planning on it. I was planning on it actually. So thanks for ruining it.
I'm sorry. Damn. Don't give it to me. I don't want it. I have a whole royal kingdom behind me. I'll get something better.
Probably below your station anyway.
Get my own armor with blackjack and hookers.
Blackjack and hookers. Milo, is there anything that like is going through Milo's mind of just like either what is Milo doing or what is like Milo's plans next for today? Or I guess, yeah, because we said it was the next day, so you guys had your like long rest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Milo doesn't have. He had never really been in any significant trouble in his life until, the business with Simon, and then it's kind of just been nonstop, like significant trouble since then. So he's just like, well, if we get to a trial, we'll get to a trial. It'll be fine. Like, we figured it out before. We can figure something out. And also, like, several times they've mentioned the full force of the Honorian army, and that's got to mean something. And so he is starting to think about the necklace, the locket from the djinn, and trying to track down the name on that necklace.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Sarah.
Farron's definitely still thinking about trying to talk to her patron and figure out what's going on with her change in powers and such. And she's just gonna kind of go along with everything and hope that leads her to start figuring out where Raylor could have gone, and he intends on bringing up the fact that he was the one with Volmos.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense, like on Saren's level, to be like, there's been so much heavy stuff that's been going on. The idea of like a trial, of like making sure that we're on the right side of the law. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that's so far from Saren's mind.
Yeah. Besides a little bit of thought about like trying to figure out what's happening with Huxley and get him out of custody, and he was being impersonated and all of that, but she couldn't care less about the trial.
Okay, cool. I say, did you want to ask about Huxley at all to Karen? I would retcon that.
Yes, I don't know what to ask, but she would mention it because she doesn't really. I don't know if she really knows anything beyond. I just found that he was in custody 2 days before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she would ask about that, if there's any updates or how they could bring that up in the trial.
Well, I unfortunately I can't really talk about another client.
And he gives you a wink,
Okay.
which tells you that Huxley is also being Karen is also Huxley's attorney. I think with that, I think that makes you feel safer on that. He wouldn't have to say like, I can't talk about another client if that client was like dead, or even, yeah, there's no, like, 'cause specifically he's really like, I would say there's like some small things that he holds on to, and that's one of them, is that he doesn't talk about other clients. But I'd say with the wink, you probably get the feeling that like he's okay. From your whole party's dealings with Huxley, there is a lot of things that could be pinned on Huxley, but finding the proof would be the hard part. So, cool. All right. Anything else you can think of before we leave this room?
I do want to ask my father, like, what's going on with sorry, I'm trying to fix my earbuds. What's going on with Erlin and Catherine? If any clerics have been brought in, or if it's something that I need to handle myself.
Oh, good. Yeah. He. Excuse me. If you were to handle it yourself, what would you be using?
Raised dead.
Oh, you do have raised dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I have 2 5th level spells. So, thoughts. Wait, is that a 4th level?
It's a 5th level.
Okay.
That's cool. Because I think
Yeah,
at one point. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I basically tell them, like, if they can't handle it, I'm more than capable. I just need the spell components to do so.
He will say this. He for now he'll tell you. Yeah, he'll just tell you it's been taking longer than was previously thought. He will say that Ilrin is alive.
Erlin, you mean?
Erlin, excuse me. Yes.
My mother is alive.
He will tell you that your mother is alive.
That's great, sorry, Father. That's not who I asked about.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen, even as an Honorian, I sometimes screw up the names.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, if he tells me that, I will tell him I want to be brought to her immediately.
Okay. She would be brought to the dungeons, but unfortunately, there's been.
Why would she be
That's
brought
not-
to the dungeons?
Because there is some. Corvus knows this, correct?
Remember, I rolled a nat 20 on steering them away from anything being wrong with any ill doings with Erlin, and told them that the whole council believed me when I said that that she got into a situation that she was trying to get out of, and it just happened. Like, it wasn't something that was planned.
Right. You rolled a nat 20.
Uh-huh.
So,
And
so
you
the
said
tricky
they
thing,
all believe you.
right? I'll be honest with you. I meant the council believed you.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I mean, because he
the
was
only-
in the room when I was like, Erlin has done something.
Right. Like there's some clear things there that I think it would just make sense that Corvus would you know.
Eldrin still questions him though.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Listen. It is. She's essentially been put on house arrest. She's in a place in the castle. She is safe, but she is being kept on watch, as far as everyone knows, for her own safety.
Okay.
I had to do
Does
something.
that bar me from speaking to her?
Nope, not with my word. Would you like to go now?
Yes.
Very good. Does anybody want to, because I think now would be a good time too, if anyone wants to go and try to talk to Zaras. I know, Milo, you specifically said.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
would you want to go now, or we could do it later? It's up to you.
Yeah, I can go now.
I think I'd go too.
All right.
God, you're always copying me.
I'm always
Well,
copying you.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I thought. I'm so dumb. I missed that joke. Do you think Guar would? Do you honestly think Guar would do that first, or would Guar?
The
go to
only
Richard
reason I would
first?
think was because maybe he would be looking for any kind of like feedback from him on how to contact a patron that's left.
Mm. I think he would very much tell you to move on and forget about that patron.
Well, then I'm not going then.
Well, I'm
He's-
not doing
he's
it
a,
then.
He's a wizard.
Gotcha.
He needs
You'd want to talk to
patrons.
Erlin, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's fair.
Also, Joe, I don't know if you remember, but because you did say there might be something that comes from it, is Eldrin didn't do her rituals this morning.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that actively happens right now.
Yeah, like I still can change my spells and stuff. I just not.
100%.
praying. Yeah.
Because there's also like there are like levels of like clerics that.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's yeah. I won't do any mechanic thing to that. I don't think.
Okay.
At least right now. Cool. All right. And then Saren, do you want to try to take time alone and try to contact your patron again?
Yeah, if I can.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll do that. Everybody, roll me. Roll. Yeah, roll initiative.
Dirty 20.
You just hear me switch to the battle music. 30, 20, 7, 15.
Oh, I should probably put it in there.
No, you're good. I got you. There's only.
No, I want to be one of them.
Okay, got it. You are rolling really good today, so.
I am. I changed
cool.
to my my cleric persona dice. That's why it's
The
silver and
little
gold.
beach one.
No, I don't have those ones yet.
Got
These
it,
ones
okay.
are different, but I'm very excited for those ones to come in.
Actually, that reminds me, I have these ship dice that I haven't even used yet. So
I'm using ones with little shells inside. Not that you can see it, but I promise there's little shells inside and they're blue.
I just ordered some that have sand and shells on the inside, and I'm so excited. Although I don't know how well they are, weighted, but we'll see.
Right. Yes, that is.
I'll do a
is
test, and
important.
I will roll 50 times and see if it is truly random.
I'll tell you, man. And from now on, this is so outside of what we're doing, but from now on, any important roll, I'm definitely using that bright orangey red die that I have no idea where I got from.
It's like my old DM, he still has it. He calls it his player killer dice because it always rolls like so well. It's ridiculous.
Listen, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one that rolled the nat 20 for you guys.
Mhm.
So
Sometimes he'd be nice and be like, "You want to use the player killer dice, Larian?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to touch it."
that's funny. Okay. Let's do it. So we're going to start with Eldrin. Corvos basically kind of tells the guard to bring you to the. You end up going up a tower. It's very similar to like where Zaros is. Definitely
Is
not
Guar
as
coming with
high
me,
up.
or I wasn't sure if you were, Mike.
Honestly, I pictured you guys are splitting. Like you're all
Okay, that's
kind of
fine.
going to different
Cool.
things.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I want to give you guys all ample time to be able to kind of do what you want to do there. So cool. I also like. I kind of feel like it just makes sense that Eldrin is alone with Elrin.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, you're brought up to that tower. The guards let you in. They don't seem to very much know much at all, for the record. But you go in and you see Elrin is. Elrin is just sitting by the window. You can see there's still kind of like marks on her face. There's marks that you have never seen before on her face. That like some like facial scarring. And she's sitting by the window, and I think she's probably the window itself is barred. You see her just reading a book. She just kind of like looks up when you come in, gives like a solemn nod, and then looks back down at her book as you walk in.
Yeah, I close the door and I sit down, and I'm assuming there's a chair somewhere in this room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The savior of Honoria. Title suits you.
What did you do to Darius? And can it be undone?
No.
And you know about Catherine?
I know they're working on it. As soon as I came to, they did ask for my help, but I told them I just felt too weak, which is not far from the truth.
Did you experience anything while you waited?
No.
The council doesn't know your involvement, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that it doesn't come to light.
I appreciate that.
I don't really know what else to say.
You know why I did what I did, and I'm still here, still breathing. So I assume in some way you understand.
I know that you went about it the completely wrong way. I proved to you that you didn't have to go about it the way you did. Everything in Honori isn't on your shoulders.
Yes. Well,
You taught me to seek out help. Why couldn't you do that?
at first, it was not putting anyone else in danger. After a certain point, it was fear for my life.
Well, I don't know where we go from here, but I know that Enoria can't lose their high priestess.
Well, looks like they're going to. I am going to ask to resign.
Why? I kept it from the council. I fixed your mistakes. I can figure this out so that my father doesn't have to. I can make it all work and I can make it all go away. Why can't. Why would you resign?
I hope you know how much I appreciate everything that you've done to protect me in this. But it seems I am unfit to be in Persana's good graces. And I at least need to either try to find forgiveness or spend the rest of my time in penance for that.
Did you speak to him? You said nothing happened when you died, but did something happen?
There was a beach. At first it was very peaceful, very nice. Knowing, based on all of the texts of what would happen next, I sat on the beach and I waited. She just kind of just trails off and looks back out the window. I will say, passive insight, you get the feeling that Persona has left Erlen.
Okay. I think Eldrin is kind of shaken by that, and says, I mean, That just doesn't make sense. I understand you've made mistakes, but you're the holiest person. I know that makes no sense at all. He. I don't understand.
I think I do. I accept it. I know.
Well, I don't.
Elgin, I know. I know how that would make you feel, assuming that you still feel for me as you do. And I appreciate that. And 1,000 times, I hope you know that that is reciprocated. I failed in so many ways. I still have my knowledge. I still believe. I still think he's watching. At best, this is a penance or a trial. At worst, this is a sentence. And either way, I deserve worse. I can still help you when I can.
Do you have someone in mind who's going to take over?
If she wakes up.
Really?
You're the Princess of Honoria.
No, I don't want. I'm just saying her? Really? That's fine. That's
She smiles and she breaks that sort of like heaviness if she wants it.
well. I suppose I can go see if I can help.
It would be for the good of Honoria. She doesn't meet your eyesight at that.
I mean,
Looks out the window and just, you two were my best students, so.
do you have a lot that you need to explain to her? She may never forgive you for what you did.
I know.
I can tell you if you'd done it to my father, we wouldn't be having this conversation, so I can understand how she's going to feel.
That is why I'm not sure if she will accept it. I am sorry. I hope you understand that.
I do.
Do you know when I am released for my own safety?
I do not, but I will talk to the king and see what it is he has to say about it all. He knows most of it, but I did not tell him the full extent. Which is probably the only reason why you are alive right now.
Well, to be honest, either way, I am gonna leave. At least for a time. I enjoyed my trial on land. Maybe I'll find someplace there.
It's very contentious right now for Tritons there, but I wish you all the best. That Eldrin will stand up, and she's gonna leave. She's gonna, and we don't have to role play this. We can go to someone else's turn. She's gonna go try and help with Catherine.
Okay, cool. As you turn to leave, Erlin does say, because I don't think you've talked to her since Guar was imprisoned, right?
She did see him at the council meeting, but we didn't talk about it. Like what, like that
Oh,
Zaris
she saw
helped.
him there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, I see that Guar was released, so I assume you found a way.
He found a way. Zaris attempted to help, but unfortunately, it seems that Zaris' help comes with a lot of conditions that are going to impact the people in my party for a very long time.
How did he find a way?
I don't know. He says he forgave himself, and that's how. But that sounds very far-fetched and ridiculous. But who knows how Bahamut works? Apparently, he had to embrace who he was and forgive himself for his past mistakes or something. I don't. He's very excited and would talk to you ad nauseum about it, I'm sure.
You see, like, Erlin is, you and Erlin are very similar in the way of, like, your perspective of this being like, okay, whatever. So so I think you expect Erlin to be like, what? Like, you expect that, and you mentioned the forgiveness, and you notice that Erlin's like, interesting. Well, I'm glad his deity found him fit to be safe.
This isn't the end for you. Someday you'll realize that.
I hope so. I at least get to watch from afar everything that Eldrin Enerath does in this world. So thank you for letting me be around for that.
Of course. This is getting too heavy and uncomfortable for me now, so I'm going to leave.
I understand. You turn, you leave. You head out the door, go down to the cleric's place there, and we'll pause you there. I will say, I think I haven't rolled for Catherine yet. Okay, yeah, you're gonna need to help.
Okay.
So we'll see if we have time or whether that bodes a role play or not. But cool.
Okay. Cool.
Very nice. Moving forward. Guar, where do you go?
The first place Guar goes is he thinks about the two places that he blacked out for sure. One was outside of the armory, and one was in that hallway in Noros's dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's closer?
Norris's dad's house for sure.
He's gonna go there.
Okay. You head out, and I'll say, as you're heading out, you pass by Generous, who kind of like nods to you at first. Mr. Guar.
Yes, Mr. Generous.
I assume that you've been thanked by the highest orders that be in Honoria, but as a fellow soldier, I just what are you looking at?
The highest? I mean, I was up there for a while.
The king.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
As a
Sorry, I've been very out of it lately. I apologize.
There's been a lot that's been going on. I can appreciate that. As a, I just want to say, as a fellow soldier, thank you. We needed your help.
He kind of stands up a little straighter, does his bows to. It was my honor. Valiant warrior respects valiant warrior, and you are no slouch, good sir.
You put your hand to your heart and bow, and you see Generous kind of like puts a knee back, or excuse me, puts a leg back, and kind of takes a knee for a second, like not to the ground, but just above the ground, and comes back up, and you get the feeling that you've just saluted each other in your own sort of versions.
Reverse lunges, yes, those are very good. Good for the lower body. Although you don't really need to do that much around here. I guess for swimming, perhaps. But
that was it. I'm so sorry. That was a high salute. I assumed you were saluting me. So
I know, Generous. I know.
Okay.
So someday I'll remember that you Tritons don't have the same sense of humor as we land folk do.
I can laugh. You see one of the guards kind of comes and runs up to Generous in this moment and goes, "Sir, just news on the outskirts of the city." Oh yes, Guar, give me a minute. Do you walk off?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Do you think you would be interested in anything about the conversations about to happen?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I would probably kind of back up and kind of see if it's a serious thing, and then I'd probably listen in for a minute.
Cool. There's no reason to assume that that you would be listening in, so I think this is just a straight perception check.
Also, they'd probably be speaking in Primordial, right? So I don't even know that language.
That is a good point.
I just
They definitely would be.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I think I just keep going.
Yeah, you do know that there is I would say the guard actually respectfully speaks in common in your presence. But yeah, once they go off, yeah, you're right. Cool. Yeah, so you know that there is a conversation. I'll say rolling perception check on the on just getting a rough understanding of what might be happening.
Forget what my perception is. 30-20.
Dirty 20. Nice. Okay. I will say, so with a dirty 20, you see the guard kind of point out in a far direction, and starts to kind of explain something to Generous. You see Generous's face kind of fall slightly, and responds quickly, and then goes and quickly walks back into the castle. I'll say kind of almost jogs back to the castle. I will say at this point, as you're wondering what that conversation is, you kind of look out around Honoria and see that there are you guys saved, I will say 90% of what Honoria is. But I think you see that there are some spaces, even from your distance of where you can see, and actually you can even see the castle itself is shifted slightly. There's the right hand side has this weird sort of bottoming out that's happened. You look out even into the neighborhoods and things like that from your distance of where you're at, and you can see there's a couple spots that definitely received some sort of blast.
Yeah. So since Guar doesn't have anybody to talk to except for Bahamut, he's just gonna be like, just kind of like under his breath because he knows he's not so dumb as to say all this stuff out loud and look like you're a crazy person. So he just kind of, in his mind, just say, "I'm so glad we saved who we did, but I wish we could have saved more."
Yeah. As you head to Norris's father's house.
That's right.
Norris's father's name is something. Maybe
Bolos.
Bolos.
That was right.
Bolos.
Yay, that was right. Sort of the bolo tie.
You you see Bolos just like out tending his own garden. This is
he not working today?
Yeah, this is odd and funny because Bolos was specifically instructed when this whole like catastrophe happened. Like everyone was forced to stay like on the grounds or like to be quarantined. Like so, like seeing Bolos just at his house is odd.
Wait, Bolos, are you all right?
What?
I said, are you all right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be indoors. Did you not hear the blasts?
Oh yeah. Wait. Bolos sounds like Zaras, doesn't he? That's
yes,
right. Okay,
does.
cool. My bad.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right, as long as you're safe.
I had to check on the house. I had to make sure everything was all right.
I understand. Actually, now that you mentioned the house, I have a request of you, sir. I was wondering if I could perhaps go inside. I need to retrace my steps. And also, if you remember anything, I feel like I lost time for a brief moment in your house when we were staying with you, and I just need to go check and see, try to figure out what happened. So if you know anything, let me know.
Yeah, that's fine. I gotta fix some cracks that appeared on the back side of the house. So that's fine. You do what you're doing.
There's a crack on the back side of the house?
There's like several. They're in like a weird like.
Several or just one big one?
No, several like multiple areas.
Got it.
You want to come take a look? Maybe you.
All right. Yes, let's go.
You're magical, right?
Sort of.
Just fix it.
I'll try. I don't have rebuild house powers.
You come back and you maybe you can fix it.
I'm not very apt in transmutation. I'll do my best.
You travel to the back of the house, which is pretty close, and you see. Roll me a check here. I think this might just be a perception check, but I'm going to see if we can make it a little interesting. I'm going to say roll me an investigation check, but add your proficiency bonus.
Okay. Investigation and proficiency. Okay.
Just don't forget it's +5 for today.
+5?
Yeah, you got that last session. Joe told you that for the day you have +5 to your proficiency bonus.
That's right. Yep, I did.
Instead
Oh man.
Well, then that's.
Well, then that's
because of what was it?
It was something to do with him talking and communing with Bahamut, I think.
Bahamut. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, then that's a 21 then.
Okay. You come to the back of the house. You look at the cracks that are there, and so the reason why we even gave you the proficiency on it is because you know the damage that your own halberd does. You see that these are not cracks; these are marks that have been carved into the back of the house. Yes. They look to be marked in some way as being very purposeful. And I'll say with a 21, you get the while you do not understand the language, you get the feeling that this is a message.
pulls out his phone and takes a photo to save
Cool.
for later.
Awesome. Yep.
I would say Guar would ask Bolos for like something to like something to write with and something to write on, so I can copy down.
What?
Do you have something I can write with and something to write on? Do you have like a I don't know. What do you
Oh.
seaweed? I don't know. What do you write on down here? I don't know.
Seaweed.
Well, I know you eat seaweed. I don't know. What do you write on?
You want some
Down here.
seaweed to write on? I'll give you some seaweed.
No. What
It's-
do Anorians write on down under the sea?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you seaweed, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch you try to write.
Well, clearly that means it's not going to work. So give me the thing that will work, please. I'm sorry. I know I appreciate your hospitality. Thank you for showing this is very important. Please just send me something to write with that'll work.
you completely overbear Bolos in that. And he's
Okay. Yeah. I only have a couple pieces of parchment, so
I think I only need one, but thank you.
walks to the house, comes back out. So you, I'll say we'll include that 21 in the scribbling of that.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I'd say with a 21. With a 21, not only is it a language that you don't understand, it doesn't look like a language I think you've ever even seen before.
Fuck. Something to go on, I guess. Bolos, would it be all right if I went into the house just to kind of retrace my steps back to where I think I lost my time?
I guess.
Thank you. You've been most hospitable, and I really appreciate it. I'm sorry for yelling earlier. I just feel like time is of the essence here. What?
I thought you were just. I just couldn't hear you. I thought you were just talking loudly.
Yes, I was. Guar's just like really happy that someone doesn't think he's yelling for once. This is great.
Love it. Cool. You see him kind of going back out to tend the like vegetables in his own garden, and you head into the house. I will say, yeah, we'll role play this a little bit. So you come to the room where you remember, and I think there is a weird sort of feeling of foreboding as you walk into the room that you had kind of shut yourself in on.
Yeah.
You look around, nothing seems to be necessarily out of place. I'll say you probably spend about a good hour searching through the whole house of figuring out what did I do.
Yeah, and I would also say before that, I think Guar would take at least a couple minutes and just meditate and just ask Bahamut for guidance.
Oh, interesting.
Because I want to reunite with Celeste and find a way to do that and figure out what I did and what happened and how I can, so this is all in the spirit of A, figuring out what I did, B, figuring out if I have control over myself, which I think I do, and then C, to reunite with.
Okay, very cool.
Celeste.
So roll me a religion check, and just remember, like everything that you're rolling that you have proficiency in, you're adding +1 that you wouldn't have before.
Right. Religion.
Yes.
With the extra +5.
No, your religion already has a +4.
Yeah.
Or sorry, you're rolling a physical die. Yes,
+5. 8.
Okay, cool. With an 8, you try to just be able to manifest a recreation of that memory, and you can feel that there is, while you have broken the hold that Tal had over you, you do not recollect. You're not able to recall that memory. Okay.
So not a total loss. I got the weird code in the back of the house, and I know why. I know how my halberd got blunted. So, I'm gonna head to the smithy, the forge.
You walk out. You see Bolson and the guys.
So are you gonna fix my house?
I could make you a new window.
Roll a persuasion check.
You should just tell him I'll send Noros.
Yeah.
Right. That is a 14.
14.
Yep.
Okay. Like
Really?
where
You-
I want it to be. Yeah, where I want it to be, right?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay, cool. There's a place, so just right up here.
And he pulls you back into the house and just like shows you, brings you up to like a room that that underwater smells are really hard right now, but I'll say that you see everything around and you know this must smell very like musty. It's a like just a small room where you can see there's little like figurines that are like on a desk that you can see they seem to be like carved out of some sort of stone.
Are they precious moments?
They're precious moments. No, they look like they're carved out of stone, and you can see that they're little like seahorses, and you'll see like there's a dolphin. And things.
Do me a favor. No one's been in this room. Not even my son.
What am I doing in here?
We cool?
Sure. What is this place? Why
I know
doesn't...
you're a very powerful warrior, but if you tell anyone about this room, I will find a way to end you.
Is it because of the trinkets? Hey.
They're not trinkets.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend. What are they? What is so...
They're just a hobby of mine.
Well, of course, I won't cause any... You know what? You might want to move some of these out of... You want it right there, right? You want the window there?
Right there.
You might want to move some of those, of your treasures, out of the way.
Oh, okay, all right.
I will help you, but I just want to be very careful with them. I know you...
Don't touch. I'll get them.
Yes, sir.
And you sit for a good 5 minutes watching this old man collect each piece one by one and bring it to the other end of the room. It is painstaking, but once it's done,
Okay.
Do you want to watch? It's gonna be pretty cool.
Sure.
Okay. Engage, and I cast Eldritch Blast.
okay. Roll me an attack roll.
Ooh, that is a 24.
24? Yeah, 24 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
What do I do in my Eldritch Blast? Okay, there's a D10. I forgot. I haven't done Eldritch Blast in so long.
Non-lethal.
I will say this for the sake of like time and energy, because you have how many Eldritch Blasts do you have now?
I have two.
Two. So we'll say roll 2d10. We'll say you hit with both of them with that.
Okay. That is a double sixes. I got a 12.
Nice, cool, yeah. I'll say with a 12, for the sake of time and energy, you notice that you do, you knock halfway of the wall out, and you see that there's still a big chunk there, and you see, well,
Wow. Okay. Cool.
You can get the rest, and I take my halberd as...
Okay, cool. Yeah, you bust out the rest of it with it.
All right. We're great. Can you get that corner?
And
Yeah.
So yep. So this happens eventually.
All right. Well, it's better than nothing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Again, if you tell anyone, I will find a way to end you.
Tell anyone about what?
The room that you're in with the trick, the
I don't
hobby of mine.
I don't remember any such room.
We're in it right now.
I'm winking.
What are you
That's a sign that I'm playing along, sir. I'm not going to tell anyone.
I don't play with them. I just make them.
Oh, you make them?
Yes.
They're quite good. I look at a seahorse like, oh,
Thank you.
It's pretty good. You can tell that he has spent a lot of time on that one.
Why don't you sell these? You should make a shop in the square.
Nope, not a soul.
All right, I'm just saying. I think that you could make a lot of people very happy with these. They're very nice. I won't say anything. I'm just saying.
Roll persuasion check.
22.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll say, I could test that with something, but he is just a normal old dude. Okay, cool.
Oh. You think so?
Listen, this world is bereft of a lot of joy, and anything that we can do to provide just a little bit to people in our community, I mean, why not, right?
Yes. Can I keep this one?
And like picks up like one of them that is like a little dolphin, like sort of.
Oh, keep whichever ones you want. I'm just saying, I think that you would find a fair market for these and make some folks happy.
How much would you pay for one?
Oh, I can't. I don't understand. I don't know the economy here. I don't know what the price points are.
It's just
That might be a question for Noros. Honestly, I'm not quite sure.
Not a soul.
Not a soul. I said you ask Noros. I'm not going to.
How did you get here?
For a second, you're wondering if he just is forgetting like where he is or whatever, and just, he basically was like, no, how did you get into the city?
Oh, okay. We the hippocampus? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got one of those somewhere. It's one of my earlier ones.
And he gives you a little hippocampus model.
Gort does his best to contain his excitement, but he's like, well, how can I not tell people about this?
Not a soul!
Okay, fine. He puts it in his, like, that utility belt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the window and the talks.
Of course. Thank you for my hippocampus. Not a soul. Not a soul.
Not a soul.
Not a soul.
This was fun.
It was. It was good to see you again. I must be off.
Dad, where are you going?
The armory.
Okay. We should do this again sometime.
Make windows? Yes, that would be fun.
Sure, I could have other windows.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Farewell.
Okay. Goodbye. Get out of my house.
And moves on. If I think you get the feeling that like you've pushed through a Bolo's wall, that he like now recognizes like, oh, conversations with people aren't so bad, and maybe like, you know, necessary. So yeah, you did a very good thing.
Good.
Cool. You head out to the armory. I sincerely don't remember the person.
It was like past the temple, I believe.
Yeah.
Let me find the names. Eldrin's gonna get some weird, like Norris is gonna come to Eldrin at some point and be like, my dad wants to hang out with me and I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. He's been asking me questions.
Like he wants to know how I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, when did we go there?
It was pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
I have hero Centath, but I don't think that's who.
No, that's not him. The bad thing about this digital notebook thing is finding things now. I can't just
Ooh,
flip
it's
through it.
Digital.
Yeah.
Love it. We'll say I will fully disclose. Obviously, that is not a big point. Also, you go to the armory, and the person that you met originally is there at the counter. Oh, there you are. It's all ready to go. It's been waiting for you.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, we've had a lot going on with the blasts and everything. Quick question for you, if you don't mind, if you remember. I remember you quoted me a price, and then you talked. You ended up with a price lower than what you had originally quoted me. How did I get you to do that?
I'm sorry.
It's a long story. Could you just help me out? I just really want to know how I did that. Refresh my memory.
He kind of pulls back on this.
Vesseros
Fesseros.
is his name.
I
Unless this is the human shark. The
No.
human shark named Harris.
No, Vesseros. So Vesseros kind of just pulls back, like thinks back. I think you just kind of made it clear that it would be in my best interest to have you don something of mine.
So I didn't threaten you or anything?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Do you normally threaten?
I've done it before. I just want to make sure that like I said, it's a long story. I'm working on myself, and I just want to make sure that I'm not hurting anyone.
Okay. Okay. I kind of feel like the intrinsic thing of like looking inward is kind of just overrated. I mean, go with your choices and just stick with it. I mean, that's me, but
Okay.
so
Also, and so that shield, and then is it Harris? Is that his name? Is he working today?
yeah, he works every day.
Would you mind if I saw him?
Sure. He's in the middle of something right now, but
I mean, I can go to him if that's all right with you.
yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Well, let me just let him know that you're coming. So he just he walks ahead of you, opens the door. You hear like this crazy like factory floor stuff kind of going on. And you see Harris is actually just putting the finishing touches on this very interesting sort of curved, almost looks like a Kopesh type of sword. You see that he's kind of running a whetstone along it, yeah, you see. I imagine you kind of take a little bit of a distance as Viserys goes up and talks to him for a second in Primordial, and Harris kind of just looks at you. Looks up at you and then just shakes his head. You see Viserys kind of just making hand motions in this, and you see Harris shakes his head again, comes back and he goes, I'm sorry. I guess Harris is really busy right now. We're actually just we're working on a big sort of revamp on a lot of the armory stuff. So he could be a little rough around the edges. So I would say, today's probably just not a good day.
I look past Viserys, Viserys,
yeah.
and I call out, Harris!
Harris looks up.
I don't mean to disturb you, but I have some questions that I think you may be able to help me with.
Harris picks up the khopesh that he's holding, and it's very large. Picks up the khopesh that he's working on, and turns and walks away further down the factory floor, away from you. I'm so sorry. I honestly have never seen him be that rude. You yell coward?
Yeah. I yell coward.
We're going to pause you there.
All right.
But I'll say in the meantime, go ahead and roll initiative.
Cool. Let's fucking go.
Yes. So we will come back to Guar in a second. I think at this point in time, as you see, I'll say actually this is a good point. You see Harris kind of stop, and you see the muscles on his back kind of bulge in a weird way. And you see him kind of turn one head. And remember, he's like that. He's got a hammerhead shark sort of head. He kind of turns and eyes you to the side, and then just fully takes down the khopesh and then runs it along the wall. And you see as the khopesh is running along the wall, there's it's a stone wall. The sparks from it that should be running like a typical sort of fire. Guar, you see are coming off as a bright pink. And with that, we're gonna take a break. So it's 10:46 now. We'll see you guys at 10:56. And like I said at the beginning, I would recommend taking a look at the stream in the meantime. Something cool. So before getting into the heat of battle, we skip over to I believe it's Saren. So, Saren, tell me, where do you think you go?
I think she goes back up to the room she was in before.
Like Elgin's room?
They all had their own rooms. Remember, we
Yeah.
had
Their
a
own room.
block.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We had a hotel block.
You had a whole
Rooms.
hotel block. Cool. All right, you go to that room. You are alone. You can sit in the chair or the bed, wherever you want to sit. And you pause and you try to meditate to connect with your patron. It has been some time since you've had like literal words from your patron. If I recall, probably even like from before your journey even started, as far as this like campaign is concerned.
It was actually in the bar. I don't remember exactly what I asked, but it was something around the time with Kanos and Huxley and them.
I think it was when I was dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was when Eldrin was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
She got like a couple words, but not really anything to go off of.
What were those? Yeah, what were those words? Do you remember?
Oh god, that's like 3 notebooks ago.
Let me see if I
Interesting.
walk through.
Yeah, let's see if Lorianne has it.
That's in
So if you
the other notebook.
Also,
well, go ahead.
before she goes into the trance, since I think the only thing she technically has tried were her psychic blades, she's just gonna kind of try to go and like do her other psychic powers, which aren't on my sheet anymore, so I don't remember, but she's just gonna like try to talk to her friends in her mind and see that like none of it works and kind of confirm
okay.
that
I love
before
that.
she talks to her patron.
So we'll do that first.
Mhm.
Oh, I got it.
What was it?
It's so Saren reached out to her patron and asked, "How can we bring Eldrin back?" And you didn't really actually get any words. It was Gerard got up on the bed and laid down next to like you, and like kind of like conveyed it that way or something like that. It was kind of like if I'm remembering correctly, it was like a comfort thing, kind of
Mhm.
like from your patron. I don't know if there was actual words though. I feel like I would have written those down.
I'll see if I can find anything.
Okay. If it helps, it was on 2/23/22.
That helps a lot.
Look at you guys. Look at you. It's
Thank you
just
guys
a
for taking
DM,
such good notes.
a
You're
DM's
welcome.
dream over here.
One day, me and Kaylee need to get a room together, and it's just going to be notebooks all over the table and just
Yeah.
like... Although Miranda
guys-
seems to take pretty good notes too. I see her
Mhm.
writing things down.
Yeah.
How's
she
Miranda
does.
doing, by the way?
She's sleeping. She's okay.
Good.
She'll,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That has been a tricky day. I have my mask.
Have you guys, either of you had COVID yet?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, so it's a repeat for her?
Well, we think we had it twice. We think we had it right before it right before it was like deemed what it was, and then a summer ago.
One of my friends has had it 4 times. He's gotten every single variant.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
One morning,
You
gets a
think
free
you get a
sandwich.
sweet jacket about that?
We told him that it's not Pokemon, but he's got to catch them all.
Yep. We'll say honestly, like knowing the concept of when your patron like responded to you is going to probably be enough. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
I found it.
But you found it. Okay. What was it?
All they said was,
I guess I need to write this down.
let's see, I asked, have you ever had a friend in your travels die that you were able to bring back? And she said, yes, someone fell. And then Gerard jumped to the bed and then back to the floor. So
Okay.
I got a 3-word answer from that.
Cool.
I also definitely have a whole page that just says, fuck you, Joe, we're not letting Eldrin die.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I would share.
Second that.
And you
But
did.
I did die, guys.
But
Well,
not
Yeah,
forever.
once.
So it's fine.
anyways, so first things
Free stream, it's
first,
fine.
you yeah, you start with like trying to connect to your psychic powers, like trying to reach out to those that you were connected with before. Roll me a I'll say for the first one, roll me a religion check.
14.
Okay, cool. With a 14, you reach out to try. Who do you think you try to contact?
I just say whoever I would have seen last. Like as we walked out of the room, who would have walked out of the room right before me? So I feel like she would have been like kind of doing this as she was going back up to her room. So maybe like
Okay, so this
Guar.
is during. Okay. Yeah.
Like
okay,
she
so
would
you
have
try to-
because for the psychic whispers she had to like see that person
Okay.
first.
got it.
So she would have like connected it and then just kind of been thinking about it on the way back up to her room.
Okay. What do you try to say to Gore?
Guar, it's Saren, can you hear me?
Who's Guar? Hello?
Hello? Who am I speaking to?
I can be Guar. What do you need? Hello? 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 Is someone there? You start to hear just more voices kind of just coming in and out and in and out.
That was
as
Darius,
you-
wasn't it?
I didn't say who it was. Yeah, I would say you're not sure. But you recognize, I think, with a 14, you are definitely not talking to Guar. And I think,
You think?
As you had kind of opened your mind to try to connect with those with Guar, I imagine you probably immediately try to shut it when you recognize what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. So you slam the door behind you, collect yourself, and you think you just like get on the bed? Tell me how you kind of get into this.
Yeah, I'd say she just sits in the middle of the bed, crosses her legs, and tries to like slows down her breathing, just tries to like collect herself after what she just heard.
All right. Slow down your breathing. You try to collect yourself. I'm going to say this because of the design around your patron. I'm fairly certain I've done religion every time, but if I haven't, I'm going to do religion again for this time. Go ahead and roll your religion check.
Can I use my inspiration that I've had for who knows how long and never used?
I will allow it. It's got to be in game a day. So I think we're on a new day, but I assume you didn't get it in the morning. But
Probably not. Where's the...
If you want to feel better about it, I can just give her mine that I got for doing the notes.
No, it's fine.
Oh yeah, the one that you get every time.
Every time, yeah.
No. I used my Saren dice and it is fine because I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, cool.
Yay. Yay, Saren dice.
I will tell you straight up that was the DC. So, I think as you like kind of close your mind, or just like close your maybe even like I imagine you close your eyes for this. You close your eyes, you try to kind of open your mind, and at the beginning you hear this very you hear all of these sort of like just conversations trying to reach out to you, or you're reaching out to them, you're not entirely sure, and you're trying to position yourself mentally away from those things. um, and I'll say that for a probably about a good solid minute, it's hard to do. You feel yourself like just imagining like basically you're like running down a hallway where doors are like slamming open and like hands are reaching out to grab you. It is that level of like of difficulty to be able to kind of maneuver out through these voices.
Mhm.
And we'll say you finally kind of get to a spot where you notice there is nothing there. And we'll say that visually, this is actually what happens. You collect yourself, and you are in a circular room that you can see. The walls themselves are kind of like blurry, and as you look at them, you actually see the blurriness even fully fade out to where it is just nothing. You see just this like kind of like smoke as the representing the wall around. You can look down and you see the platform that you're on is fully circular, but you can't, like, the walls might as well be invisible. It just seems like you're kind of just floating on this disc in the space of your mind. You see a figure kind of just like almost like a mirage kind of comes into shape. I don't think you've seen this figure before, this form of your patron. That's up to you to decide, but you see in some ways it looks somewhat like Gerard, but significantly kind of like taller, standing prouder. And you see there are large. The image itself is still kind of incorporeal. It's still kind of like shifting in and out, but it almost looks like there's like large antlers that are on the head, like some sort of stag thing, except that the antlers look to be like a little bit beefier than the like antlers of a stag. You see it kind of like gently kind of like bow its head to you, and you feel that you have successfully found a way to connect to your patron.
Did Darren see something to do with this form? Was it
Yes.
before? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like something about cave walls. Was it the vision when fighting Darth's family? Am I remembering that right?
I believe you had. I don't remember when it was, but yes, you did have a vision depicting I believe like essentially like a cave drawing of this being.
Okay. Cool. Lorianne's gonna
Playing
find
the long game, Saren.
So she slowly looks up at it. Can you help me figure out what's going on with everything? My psychic powers, whatever contract I signed. I need some kind of guidance, if you can.
You see this blurry image kind of take one step forward with its paw and bends down. And I'd say you're about 10 or 15 feet, 10 or 15 feet away from this creature. But you see it kind of bend its neck down and fully come like face to face with you, just to give you an idea of like how big it is. It comes to, and it kind of like sniffs the side of your like your hair, like to the side of your head. Kind of pulls back slowly. I think you get the feeling that it understands your plight, and or excuse me, she understands your plight. She understands what you're going through, but the guidance in question is a very general sort of concept. There's nothing that you feel can be spoken of in there. I think you have to kind of ask. You get. I think you get the feeling you have to ask more direct questions.
Mm-hmm. Are my psychic powers completely gone?
You see the antlers like kind of like glow this very deep sort of purple as your, I'd say, beloved might be a good word for them. Like your psychic knives, your daggers, just kind of appear in front of your hand, or excuse me, in front of your face, and they spin very slowly. And I think you sit there for a second, kind of waiting for them to happen, and you just see them kind of spinning in front of you.
Have they shifted into something different?
You see your patron kind of like lift an arm up to kind of show you like you get the feeling you have to interact in some way with these.
I'm gonna reach out and try to grab one.
You reach out to kind of grab it, and you feel your hand kind of move through it, and you see the little inkwell just fall and break to the ground in place of it.
I'm trying to think what I can ask specifically. That's Theron. But I don't want to be too specific.
Right, you can ask anything. It's just if you don't receive any answer, it just be just an idea that it's just too general.
She kind of already knows or gets the idea of when she takes a soul, there's like a token sort of thing. I don't know how to. I don't want to metagame too bad and ask like a specific question that Saren wouldn't know what to ask because she's not looking at a character sheet, if that makes sense.
Sure, I would say I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think because there is like Saren's also an extremely fast learner too, so there is that factor too.
Would Saren ask anything about Raylor? Like, do you guys have the same patron?
Probably not, but she could. I think she would just kind of understand the whole powers thing, and go on from that.
I think there's a comfort of recognizing that your patron is still here.
Mm-hmm. I think next she would ask, this contract that I signed. Are you okay with what I'm going to be doing? Is it truly in the name of good, or is this some kind of evil, or am I just helping these souls pass on?
where there was no wall, there is kind of this like sort of like bookshelf like thing that kind of just slowly materializes, and again, it's still very blurry. And you see an object kind of float off the shelf and come up to you, and you can see it is literally a scale that is moving back and forth. And after watching it for a while, you see that it is not settling.
So
You can roll an insight check if you want to on that. It's up to
yeah,
you.
I'll do that.
Most of these things are kind of made to be interpreted, but if you feel like you want something that's a little more grounded, you certainly can try.
25.
25. Yeah. Cool. You catch from that the concept is that your weightedness of being justified in what you're doing, or justifying who you are, truly depends on what you use it for.
That's pretty much what I was gonna say / ask.
I think to the beginning of your question was, are you okay with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Like basically, are you okay with the path that I am taking?
You don't necessarily see any sort of response from the patron on that. The comfort of being here is definitely a lean towards the positive, but you also connect with the concept that your patron did at one point talk to you, and now it doesn't seem like it's doing that. Whether that's an ability that it's gone or a choice is hard to say.
And lastly, is there a way to bring Raylor back from whatever evil he's aligned himself with? Do you think I can save him?
You see the room with the scale that's in that you're like kind of like looking at. So you see it kind of disappear and then reappear as this very like giant, like maybe like 120 feet tall behind both of you. Like so behind the patron. Excuse me, sorry, behind the patron, in a very like gigantic, like larger, dreamy sort of like Final Fantasy boss creature sort of thing. Kind of just appears in the open air past the wall of this thing, and you see it continue to kind of move forward and back, and you see multiple other versions of it kind of appear all around. They're not leaning either way. They seem to keep shifting back and forth.
Can you point me in the direction of what I need to do to save him? Where do I need to go?
That is a good question. Cool. You see a mirage kind of appear at your feet. The scales fall away. You see a mirage kind of appear about maybe like 10 feet off from you, and it looks to be a creature that is. So, how tall is Saren?
Like 5 foot, I think.
5
Same
foot.
as me.
I'd say you see a creature's probably closer to about like being like maybe like 3.5 feet tall. You see like a very like sickly kind of gray-green skin, this like wild tatter of like dreadlocked hair that like doesn't go past the ears. The ears themselves you see to be very large and pointy. You see that it is pretty much completely naked except for a loincloth, and seems to have a like essentially like a wooden plank shield, and is like walking through something, looking for something.
Okay.
I would say for this creature resembles a goblin in some ways.
Is it the
And
same
I'll say,
thing?
go ahead.
Is it the same race as Valsis? And I can't remember the name of it. My other two.
Who's Falsus?
I don't even remember what one shot that was. It was the one shot where you played Huxley. Of Verdun.
Oh,
Get a little
does that-
alien guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little
Kind
green
of.
guy.
I will say above board that race is not here on this this campaign. So, but yeah, it does like it looks somewhat goblin-like, but also I would say for the most part it looks almost 100% goblin-like. As you're watching it, you see it kind of like take a thing off of its. There's like a kind of like a little like small belt on the side. You see it take something off and picks up a stone. You see it glow a bright, like kind of like I'd say it probably glows like a bright greenish color, and then puts it into this like this cloth, and you see it start to kind of swing around its head, and then you see it go to throw it, and that's when it disappears.
Okay. Thank you. And then I feel like she like brings herself out of it.
Cool. I'll say before you do that, you see the figure kind of like lean again, like closer to you, and for a second, just as you're kind of closing off, and you also feel like you're kind of like being pushed out of it as well. You see a figure of a woman. Like it seems to shift just suddenly to a figure of a woman with like a long kind of like flowing clothes, and you see a veil just kind of over the mouth and nose. That just like kind of like leans down into you as you kind of slowly pull yourself out. Okay. I think we're gonna pause you there. Very nice. And Milo, where are you
What?
going? What?
Milo is going to he's gonna go up to Zaris's room.
Okay.
Try and find him.
Cool. You go up the tower. You notice at this point, like, I don't know if you guys noticed it before, but you definitely noticed it this time around that like there's guards stationed everywhere. There are no guards around this tower. So you have no problem like getting up there. I mean, it's a long journey up. I don't know how Milo's pretty dang in shape, but I would say you do notice that it is hard to kind of get up and down.
Yeah.
Cool. You get to the door.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
What?
Hey, Zaris, it's Milo. Can I come in?
Yeah, mind your feet and hands.
And the door opens. You see, as you walk in, you see a bedroom that has a blackened sort of like sort of like space to like one side of it that has not been cleaned. You see, the typical sort of amenities of everything that you've seen before in this room, except that you see that there is a very large sort of like it looks to be stone table that is sitting literally in the middle of the room, and you see the body of the Merid on it, fully opened up from the like from chest to belly button. You see Zara's kind of standing over it. Has like specific has like multi-leveled like eyeglasses, staring down deep. Looks at you with his eyes just giant.
Yes.
Oh, great! I wanted to talk to you about. Oh my fuck! Why? Okay.
It is a dead body. It cannot hurt
Yeah,
you.
I'm not. It's not that it would hurt me. I'm not. It startled me, I guess, is more the. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about the Merid and our the trinket I found with him.
Sure.
And I like show him the trinket, like, and with all of the the bombings and the diplomatic discussions and whatnot, I've forgotten the translation.
I will say, just for a second, I will say, as you're doing that, he fully just stopped paying attention and is down back in the middle of is just doing a full post-mortem autopsy on this. An autopsy on this Merid.
That's fair.
So it seems to be hearing you, but definitely not focused.
Yeah. I was wondering if there was anything you can tell me to help me find the person named on this locket.
Is there a name on it?
I thought there was. It was I've forgotten the full translation, but it's if in case of my death, find someone or someplace. Or it was definitely a noun. I can't read what it's written in. Can you read it?
Okay, let me see it.
You go.
Have you above board? Have you not been able to read this name, or you just don't remember, or you just roll?
We've translated it.
Yeah,
Jamie can't remember, and
Nora's
I'm just
told him
taking it as Milo can't remember.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's fair. So you see. Oh, jeez, why did I think I would immediately remember this? Hold on.
I'm looking for it.
It is Adim is the first name you're looking for.
Adim, yeah.
Adim Abn Albar.
We didn't even get a last name.
So thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
I would say it might actually just say Adim on it.
It did just say Adim, but Noros rolled on it, and I think you gave him advantage because he knows the bartender. And Noros was like, "You need to talk to Florian."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say, strike that from the record. You do not get the last name.
No, it's written in the notes.
I mean, you can. But I'm saying you in game did not get the last name.
Jamie Milo will not remember.
Yeah. This is a team. Hands it back to you. Goes right back to what he's doing.
So, you seem to have a friendship, relationship, working understanding of this Merid.
As you're saying that, he puts his hand straight in, just going through the internal organs of this dude. Yeah.
Yes, we've had a long-lasting friendship.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Seemed like he was in a tough position towards the end.
We all are from time to time. Doesn't mean we don't care about each other.
Can I? I'm not sure what I can offer help. I have small hands. Gets into
yes.
nooks and crannies. Can I help you at all?
Yes, right here. Yep. If I can hold this open, I just want you to get just.
And you see him like trying to like old man strength, like pulling an area apart. We'll say like pulling two ribs apart to be able to like get to like the kidney that's like kind of like stuck in this weird area on the side.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Milo's gonna reach in and grab it for him, and so there you go.
Great, awesome, fantastic, thank you.
Right on the side of the table.
Amazing creatures, Marids. Hopefully we'll learn some more about what makes them tick from this experience. So it's not a waste.
Well, here's hoping. I don't know. I don't know much of anything about them. I think they're somewhat like a djinn. But I just have children's stories about those where I'm from.
Yes, most likely what you heard is correct. They're highly magical beings, mostly genie in nature. However, they do have some, obviously, physical forms. Yes, not a lot is known. Hence, puts up his like blue hands, just caked in blood.
Yeah.
Roll me an insight check.
That was. Oh, what is my insight?
I would say you could
19.
put this as a know your truth check.
Okay. 22.
22. You Zaras is being exactly how he would normally be, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really shifted in form. And I will say, like, we also said before that like this person is not able to be insight checked on.
Yeah.
So you're not really getting a lot, but I think I think the idea that Zaras is being so. I'm trying to think of a way to say this. I think you get the idea that Zaras being so much Zaras-like, with
Mm-hmm.
having a dead body of what you presume to be a close friend on the table, tells you that not everything is okay.
Yeah.
So I think this is less of an insight check on Zaras and more of an insight check on the situation. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have any Do you have any stories about I don't even know his name about the Marid
Ashar Anas is his name.
Ashar Anas. Do you have any stories about Ashar that you can tell me?
I once was swallowed by a whale when I was younger. And
Sorry, I didn't see that coming.
Full like not laughing at all, just like full.
Yeah.
I once was swallowed by a whale. And that was the first time I met it.
Goes back to what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Took ages to get out.
I mean, did you?
You don't want to know.
You passed? So you passed through? Yeah. You went the long route.
I went the long route. Turns out, just for the record, if you're ever interested in any sort of type of magic, Armor of Agathis does protect against a lot of stomach acids.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I think I have a friend that is familiar with that. I think Guar.
Yes, the one that's still alive.
Yeah. Well, you seem really interested. You seem really interested that he's still alive.
Well, someone asked for my help, and I gave it in the way that made the most sense to me, and it seems they must have found help elsewhere, which is great too.
Well, that's vague and alarming.
He kept like I think because he's definitely not one to really like beat around the bush on that.
My only perspective of being able to free Guar of his torment was to free Guar of himself, at least for a time. I did give that blanket, so I assumed it would be figured out. But he never died.
I see the logic. I don't like it. I'm much more glad that he made it out in another way.
I guess, yeah. What do you mean you don't like it?
I mean, I don't know. He's my friend. I don't want to lose my friend. I've already lost one. That was a long day.
Your friend would just pass into something else. You know that, right?
And points to the friend that he has on the table.
There are still uses. Death is just a changing of molecules and substances. Some people would call it evolution into something else that...
Wait, who's Molly?
What's that? What'd you say?
Who's Molly? Molecule.
Oh, yeah.
Milo's not gonna know what a molecule is.
Yeah.
It's put out your hand. There are literally trillions of them right there. You're using them to wipe off the other ones.
He just continues to. I think he gives you a full science lesson on what molecules
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
But then just explains that like in a lot of ways it's an evolution, and if he was able to come back, then he would. If he didn't, so be it.
That's an interesting way to look at it. Kind of sidesteps grief altogether, doesn't it?
He stops what he's doing.
Tell me, what is the purpose of grief in your eyes, Milo?
For me, grief serves as a way to remember the relationship I've had, the weight of the relationship I've had. I've grieved when I've lost, not just when I've lost someone to death, but when I've lost somebody to another time in life. Currently working through grieving my Uncle Bob. He
Your uncle.
Last
Bob.
time, my Uncle Bob. Last time I saw him, he was we went through a situation and he did not come out the same Uncle Bob that I knew, and I'm gonna miss him. So I grieve and I remember the relationship I had with him before. Then there's Darth, and I grieved for Eldrin for a little bit, and then she came back, which was great. And then, yeah, it's not fun, and it's hard, but I feel like it honors the work you put into a relationship.
Honoring the work, you say?
You see him. There are a lot of things that I would have the response of like what degree happens. I would usually have you roll for that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, there would be no roll required. You'd have to roll above a 1, or excuse me, a 1 or above. You see Zaras just kind of stop, wipes off his hands.
Honoring the work.
So he kind of snaps his fingers. Both Ashara and Nas on the table just disappear.
Guess no matter how old, how many lifetimes you've lived, you're never too old to learn.
Well, I hope you learn all you need to from Ashar.
Maybe. Thank you, Malo.
Thank you, Zaris. And for the record, I am very sorry about that corner, and he's going to keep eye contact with Zaris and just wave his hand over to that corner. I'm very sorry.
It's just stuff. Doesn't seem surprised by that at all.
Yeah. No, yeah, he
totally knows.
Yeah.
It's just things.
I think he does break eye contact and kind of looks over at us.
Could always be fixed.
You see him just kind of wave a hand, and everything kind of cleans up, gets pushed back into place. You see like a chair that was like kind of like half burnt up in pieces, just slowly start to kind of regain its full shape again.
Wow. That stuff never ceases to amaze me. You magic folk are awesome.
It seems like we can't do everything.
Then you'd be a god. Who wants that?
I would love that. I strive for that at least once a day.
Huh.
But I would say,
Tomato.
so I would say, if I was a god, I would make sure that I had no one need be follow me. It makes me feel it would just seem needy. You know what I mean? Like, what is a god?
Totally.
Need followers if it's a god. You know what I'm saying?
I know the way Eldrin talks about persona, it just sounds like their ego's so fragile.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what's the worst that would happen if, say, Eldrin decided to think for herself? Just in any way. By the way, the certain aspects of our conversation where I will fully give you the acknowledgement that you taught me something today. I thank you for that. Please, for the love of whatever god you choose or not choose, do not tell Eldrin.
Oh yeah, fully happens in the creepy upstairs dungeon. Stays up here.
Yeah, she'll find a way to say all thanks be to Prasanna or some shit like that, and I just can't. I can't take it.
But anyways, Cyrus, you've I feel like you've helped me today too. Thank you very much. I will
You're welcome.
leave you to your work.
Okay. Hey.
Yep.
You want to learn something?
I would love to learn something.
Okay, cool. Close the door.
Assuming that you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Milo kind of closes the door behind him, and the camera kind of fades out. And we cut out from there. Very cool, though. Very insightful, you monk.
Mhm.
He keeps therapizing people.
He
Mhm.
does. He does keep therapizing people. Cool. Let's do this. I'm going to send you something real quick. So have fun with that. Okay, cool. We are going back to, not missing anybody, right? Yep, that was only 4 today. Pretty hard to do that. We're going back to Guar. Guar, what'd you get in initiative?
10.
Okay. He's going first. You see this very big Kopesh that he is holding change in his hands to even be larger, to the point that you see that it's stretching out to great sword size as he comes rushing to you. To kind of give you just the idea of the format of this space, you see that there is a very large, like a single sort of like almost assembly line designed construction of this armory that has the individual workers working on each piece of it. But it also does consistently kind of move, and there's machinery that allows it to be able to move, like legitimately like an assembly line. You see that about from your left to your right, there's about 15 feet of distance. You're kind of directly in the middle. So think of it as kind of like a long hallway sort of thing. Except to your left is the machine itself. So if you wanted to kind of like do whatever, jump on top of it, what have you, you have that space there. So the whole room itself is about 30 feet wide and we'll say about 100 feet long. Cool. So
Cool.
rushes to you to go and comes up and goes to attack. As he attacks, actually, hold on. Let me do this right. Right before he attacks, you see him kind of point a finger at you, and this like kind of like whirlpool of air just kind of shoots out from his hand as he casts Hex on you. And is going to take his first swing with his greatsword. That is a 21 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
That's your armor class? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So first hit does damage. 2, 3, 4. Just make sure I'm doing the math right. 2, 6 plus Hex plus. For anyone following along, I am doing a reskin of the Bugbear. Which does First hit's going to seem like a lot because it is, but there's a reason why. Holy cow.
Love that.
Oh,
I love that for
not,
me.
Yeah, that's not terrible. That is 10, 15, 21 plus 3 is 24 points of damage on the first hit. As you see just a massive sort of swing comes at you, you feel the hex sort of respond to the burst of that damage to come straight down. That was his first attack. He's going to go and attack again for a natural 18, which is going to hit.
Nope.
No. What are you doing?
It doesn't hit.
A natural 18.
Oh, well, what's
Yeah,
the
It's
why don't?
24.
Oh, well, fine. Okay.
Cool. So it's hits again for 9 points of damage plus a d6 because of hex is every time. Right? Let me just make sure. What are we doing? Hex. Every time you hit, right? Yeah. Yeah. So 9 plus 4 is
13.
13 damage on the second hit. So comes down. You see Viserys like just kind of like just starts like yelling, tells the workers kind of to stop and to get out of here as this is going on, but just basically it's kind of a background sort of figure. That ends Harris's turn.
I reach out and point at him and cast Hex on his ass.
You got it.
And I do like a stupid little whirlpool thing too.
Okay.
And I kind of, so I take his hits and I just kind of do that one of those like, that I cast Hex on him.
Love it.
And I will attack. My first attack is a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And this is with I have Celeste, the weapon Celeste again. So yay. Sweet. That is max damage. So 14.
Nice.
Plus a 6. That's 5 more, so total 19.
19. Nice.
And I'm gonna hit again.
Okay. From your first hit, I need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That is a 23.
23. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Yeah. All right. I said it. I'll do it. Sorry. 1 second. Not above the first. Casting out 4, so that is 3 more. Okay. 1 second. You take 3, 5, 7. 7 plus 6 is 17. Half of 17 is 8. So you take 8 points of fire damage.
For what?
Hellish Rebuke.
Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 Second attack was a natural 17 for a 25, so I got double 17s.
Nice. Yes, that'll also hit.
And then that's a 13, right, plus 3, that's 16 more damage.
16 more damage. Nice. Okay. Cool. All right. So you did hex. And are you standing there? I will tell you just above board. Used his reaction to do the
Yeah.
Hexblade's curse. So.
Oh wait,
he
he used
was-
his. I thought he used his reaction as the rebuke. Hellish
Yeah.
rebuke was the.
What did I say? I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
You said Hexblade's curse. I thought you said you said Hellish
Hexblade's
rebuke.
curse
though.
is not a reaction. I'm sorry. Hellish
Right.
rebuke is what he used. So
Okay.
he doesn't have a reaction if you wanted to move away or do whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up. How close is he to me? He's like right on me, right?
Yeah, he's right on you.
I'll back up, like I don't know, 10 feet.
Okay, cool. You back up 10 feet. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to risk that. Cool. It is now his turn. You actually hit him twice, so I believe Hex is concentration, right? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Makes the first one and makes them both. So Hex is still up. It is now his turn. He is going to, because this is not concentration, if I recall. Hexblade's curse. Yeah, it's not concentration. Is also going to cast Hexblade's curse on you. So that's the bonus action there for that. It's going to come up, rush up, and go to attack again. Those 2 damage rolls. Okay, so it's just damage. Okay, so still has to hit you. Okay, first roll is a natural 17, so that's 23.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus the d6 from Hex. 3, 9. Sorry, my brain just broke. 9. And then plus 3 of those. 12. 12 points of damage on the first hit.
Roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Yes, sir. Not great. 10.
You failed.
You got it.
So, 2d10 fire damage. 16.
Nice. 16 points of damage.
Yeah, fire damage.
You got it. Cool. Looking really hurt. Is going to wind up for his second attack. How many hit points do you have right now?
32.
Okay, cool. Then you can survive this. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, well, I'm going to use my my shield.
You can't use that. You used Hellish Rebuke. You only have 1 reaction.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Wait, hasn't it been more than one? Didn't he use Hellish Rebuke on the last turn, or did he just use it?
No, he just did it.
Oh, okay,
On the
okay,
last
okay.
hit. So that is, I will say we'll have him roll for each of these so that we won't do max damage. 46 plus the d6 from Hellish Rebuke, which is doubled. Oh, there's a lot of ones, man. 10, 3, 13, 19, 22, and then plus Hexblade's curse is 25 points of damage on the second hit.
Well,
And
shit.
I believe that ends his turn.
It does.
So you see it, like you see these big hits. You see it kind of like pull back, and you can see the shark teeth kind of open up as you see like this like kind of like nasty sort of snarl come from him. And you actually see his eyes kind of glow a bright pink.
Yep. Hang on.
He is hurt.
Yeah, but how bad though?
You told me, so maybe I'll tell you. Or do you want me to not tell you?
No, tell me.
Okay. He's got 24 hit points left.
Mike, as a little aside, normally when a DM says he's hurt, he's at least half health.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm looking for Hexblade's Curse.
Should be on features and traits.
Right. There it is. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna cast Hexblade's Curse.
You got it. Also, roll a concentration check for your hex, which he actually has to do for your reaction attack. Okay, I think it was only 1 point, but add 1 point back to you, back to your score as
Okay.
hex dropped from the Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. I got 1 point back, you said?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to...
And you have to roll 2 concentration checks for your hex.
I saved. I saved both times.
You say both times? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I got 19 and 18. Okay, so... I'm gonna hit him again. Like, real hard.
Yeah, hit him real hard.
Like, real hard. Okay, so Hexblade's Curse gives me... It's a crit and a 19 or a 20.
Mm-hmm.
And plus 4 damage to bonus rolls. Okay. Natural 19.
Which is a crit.
That is a
Nice.
crit. Okay, so
Kill this fucking shark, dude.
I'm gonna so that's 4d10. Well, max damage, so right?
Yeah,
No,
for
I'm
you
sorry.
it was max damage. So
So
it'd be,
14 plus 1d10.
what's the D10 from?
Isn't it? It's 1d10 plus 4 usually. Right? So it's max damage. I'm sorry, it's 1d10 plus 4, right? So it's max damage plus I reroll a d10.
Yes. Also, well, so you have Hexblade's Curse and Hex on him. Hexblade's Curse isn't a roll.
And I'm gonna
Hex-
smite.
Okay.
If I don't take
Hex
him down.
is
Hex is plus-
a roll. So that
Right.
would be we're maxing the damage plus the roll. So yeah. So we would say it's 14 plus from the Hex would be 6. So that's 20 plus roll a 1d10 and a d6.
Okay, that's a 9.
And that's all you needed.
Yeah.
Tell me how you do this. Tell me how you end this creature.
So I see as I see his jaws open,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the pink thing. I see that's my opening, quite literally, and I take Celeste and I say, "You could have just deciphered the thing for me," and I stab him through his mouth, out the back of his neck,
Okay, cool.
and then
Awesome. As you pull back, you actually because it's a halberd, right? So as you pull back, you actually see the front part of its face just fully open up. As you just kind of pull straight up from it. Just falls down very, very dead.
sorry for the inconvenience.
You see a bunch of the factory workers just staring in horror.
Or ends up back in jail again in Anoria.
You also get health back for the kill.
Oh yeah, plus 8.
Is it 8 for you? Oh, because you have less warlock spells. Yep.
And I'm gonna lay hands on myself and heal for my full 35.
Okay. You see Viserys kind of come back into the door.
Okay. He attacked me. I just wanted him to read this piece of paper.
No, I understand. Goes to like kind of close the door again.
Sorry, everyone. That was probably not something you're used to seeing. He swung at me first, and I thought I was going to die, so I hope this doesn't ruin the rest of your day. I'll see myself out.
Does
You
the
walk
pink
out.
mist come out?
No. You mean
thank
like
God.
from like a
Like when
from the
Saren.
body?
Yeah. Like that's what happened to Saren, the pink
Oh,
soul,
no.
whatever. Okay.
No, very different. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you don't.
By the
see
way,
that, but-
does anybody know what that shield I ordered is?
you see a like a very small sort of like fish like creature point like a fin, like a shaky fin towards the corner of the room.
Thank you.
Where you see a shield, yeah.
I just walk over, I pick it up, I go, oh, very nice. Hey, great job, everyone. Carry on, and I just walked out.
So you walk out of the factory floor. Okay, all right. And you see Viserys is kind of like he's like standing behind the counter, in a very like awkward stance, like there may be a weapon behind him. You're not sure. Okay.
Sorry again. I did not want to do that. I promise you.
Okay.
I just walk out.
Cool. As you walk out, you give me a perception check.
Nat 20. 25.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
You see about 10 guards headed your way. They're about maybe 50 feet from you.
I walk around the house, or I walk around the building.
Okay, cool. We'll say for the sake of, for the purposes of this, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Oh boy.
I will say I'm fairly certain you never gave your name, but Eldrin was around.
Sorry?
That's why he gave all of his money back to War, because I was there.
All right.
Oh, you might have given your name for the order. Do you remember giving your name or not?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Because I thought I ordered around the time that she was excommunicated or whatever.
Yeah, but he recognized me, and so when I went in there afterwards with you, he was like, "Oh my God, take the money back."
Yeah.
That's
I don't
right.
think you.
But you would have had to given your name for the order, right? Like
Well,
a name.
that's what I'm saying.
We
I
didn't
think we were
roleplay
kind of
it.
halfway. Yeah, I think we
Right.
were kind of halfway through it.
Because you didn't
No.
roleplay him being like putting the order in and then leaving.
No,
Right.
we were actually all the way through it because that's how you got a deal, and then
Mhm.
Elgin came in and gave it. So
Mhm.
he definitely got a name.
Quar. God damn it.
I got a 14 on the stealth check.
Okay. Okay. You see generous. You see generous walk by and go. Walk by, kind of like looks to the side, like in your direction, and motions for the rest of the guards. Go ahead and go in. I'm going to check the perimeter. And then just makes a beeline towards you. What? What?
I asked him a question. He refused to answer it.
And you just killed him on the spot. So there's a dead body in there because, dude, I
He-
just talked to you like
He
5
attacked
minutes ago.
me. He had a big ass sword. It was curvy and scary looking, and then it grew. It became a great sword. He had pink tinges in his eyes, and then there's the same thing as the water bubble guy we fought.
Was it like the pink what? Dude,
Okay, you know the thing we killed in the underneath in the bowels of the castle, the blue thing.
I wasn't there, man.
You didn't hear about it? I figured word traveled around. Okay, so this is a very long story.
Okay.
Sharkman attacked me. I defended myself. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. We're gonna need to bring you in.
Self-defense, man.
Okay. But you can't. Okay. It's best that you come with me.
That's fine. It was him or me.
Okay. All right. I gotta put these on you, and he like just had. And I think at this point, so fast forward a little bit, yeah, he puts the cuffs on you. He like kind of like opens the door. So I got him, and the rest of the guards come out and they lead you back in, and we kind of cut for a second to Eldrin just kind of coming down the main stairs. You see, walking in the door is Generous, and in front of Generous is Squire, hands cuffed. What do you say in the situation?
I left you alone for. Eldrin doesn't look at a watch because I don't think she has one, but she like looks up at the sky, and says like, an hour at most. What on earth could you have done in that time? Can you not be left alone for 5 minutes, Squire?
I was trying to retrace my steps. I found someone that had information about what I'm looking for. He attacked me. I attacked him back. I attacked him better than he attacked me.
So I think what happens is this conversation starts to happen and just like it most likely gets heated and it kind of just like sort of like fades up into the distance, and that's where we will end tonight's session. Jamie, do you have time for kudos, or do you have to jump?
No, I can hang out for kudos. We're good.
Cool, awesome. Holy cow, gang! What a thing. Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, you actually got a hint that Harris might have some nefarious sort of like connections.
We did.
We did.
Yeah. Cool. That was fun. I'll send you that character sheet later if you want. But
cool. Yeah.
It was just a straight up Hexblade Warlock, which are just stupid, overpowered sometimes.
Warlocks have patrons, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So could like Tal be its patron?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. So we're gonna run through our kudos now. Very cool. Thank you all for joining me. Let's start with Jamie.
Kudos to everybody. I think it's especially hard to I don't know. I think we bounce off of each other pretty well in roleplay as a group, and I think for me it's especially hard like soloing a scene. So I think like kudos to everybody for making that really interesting. That was fun. I am really I'm interested to see now. I'm interested to see now the Honorian court system, or I guess legal system, as it's meant to be. Because we were fine, and we had worked out all of the hinky stuff originally, and now this is just you straight up murdered a guy.
Yeah.
And so now we have this.
Was gonna murder me first.
That's not going to hold up in court.
Yeah, I think there's also like there is a factor you could have pushed here. I think, but I think with this, it does spurn a whole like. There's absolutely going to be a trial here, and we'll push it forward to as much as we possibly can. But yeah. Cool. Think so. You said, oh, excited for the Honorian court system.
Yeah, to see
Okay.
to see how that is handled properly.
Yes. I'm interested in that too. I didn't think I was going to have to figure that out. Awesome. Cool. Moving forward, let's do. We're jumping around anyway, so we'll go to Kayla.
You're
Oh,
muted.
you're muted.
Muted.
Whoops. What Jamie said, kudos to everyone with all their individual scenes. I really liked Bolos and Guar having their little moment with the figures.
That was very cute.
Oh my god. I'm also excited to see what happens with the Honorian court and Guar just murdering a dude.
We're probably much
and-
more fair than the Imaean court.
yeah.
Like, give us the facts.
Yeah,
I
and like
mean-
thinking about it, it's so like there are like factors that like Guar also helped save the entire nation. Like so there is a weird like
And I can see Eldrin being like, get the body. I'll cast Speak with Dead on it. We'll figure this shit out.
You
That's
should,
not
because I
a
still
bad-
need information from him.
That's not a bad idea.
But yeah, that's what was my plan.
Cool.
I still need
I
information.
don't have it
from that
prepared
guy.
today, so Guar might be in jail for one night. But
I mean, nowhere I haven't been already, so
the best part is that Erlin's not in prison yet. Guar, once again, is going to be in a jail
that's
cell.
funny.
Is there even a jail cell left, or is there just a hole in the floor?
I think it's like because I think there's like a couple of cells that are still like available. It's just that they're like they're on a weird precipice.
Yeah, and I think too, because we talked about before that there are other prisons in Honoria. Usually, they're the like one in the castle isn't used, but Generous is like, okay, well, this is a special case.
Yes. You just killed one of the armorers. That does like legitimately help arm the Honorian army in certain cases. So there's definitely a connection there.
He had a bad look to him.
Just looked at me the wrong way, man.
He didn't answer my question.
He didn't answer my question. That was so funny. Okay,
That
so
was
listen, he
great.
didn't answer my question.
he straight up didn't attack. He straight up attacked me though.
Yes, after
No, but I just
you-
love what it was like. It was like he didn't answer my question, so you killed him.
Right, yeah. He had pink stuff coming out of his eyes, so like, which means nothing.
He had
to Generous at
conjunctivitis.
all.
It was
Conjunctivitis.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Gross.
That stuff is contagious, let me tell you.
Just best to just.
And
just
can you
cut it
imagine
out.
it underwater? Like that would
Oh,
spread like
God.
crazy.
Turns out that's actually what they do in Honoria. If you have conjunctivitis, it's a death sentence.
Yeah, that's all you have to say in Corn. They're like, oh, thank you, Guar.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
so much.
Guar gets a parade.
That's
He
funny.
had the junk.
Cool. Lorianne.
Did Mike go?
No.
No,
We're
I'm
bouncing
jumping
around.
Oh, we're bouncing. Oh, okay. I like order. Anyway, kudos to everyone, as everyone else says. I loved all of your scenes. They were all great in their own ways. Like Guar with, honestly, Guar going back to the smithy. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but that was great, and I think needed to happen, especially with Harris. And then Milo just hanging out and making friends with everyone is one of my favorite things ever. And Theron, I wish I knew more about your backstory on so many things. So I'm like, what does this mean? This is killing me.
If it makes you feel
But
any better, I don't know either.
Okay, yeah. I'm excited to see if I can bring Catherine back to life. I'm also excited to see what's going to happen with Guar now, because this is just another thing to add on to Eldrin's plate of things that shouldn't be an issue, but now are. There's too
Right.
many things. And also, I do want to have a conversation with Ilrin at some point about what we do with Volmos and how we tell Koros about it.
Yes. Yeah, that needs to happen.
Because he can't stay in my room forever.
Right. Right.
I mean, I guess he could.
He could. He could. But, oh,
Or
what was I gonna
siblings.
say? Oh,
Half siblings.
I really loved the scene with Milo and Zaros because there's also something that like, making these NPCs that are like all knowing, in a lot of ways can be really boring. Like it's something that I think that like, especially for you, the players are just like being like, all right, well, there's, this person's going to be just a answer sort of, like an answer machine, and there's
Yeah.
no sort of like there's no development to those characters. So
Mhm.
I loved being able
Yeah,
to
that was so cool.
put something there on that.
I'm also excited for if we can bring Catherine back, her becoming the high priestess. Because
Yeah.
I have actually I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think I have the reason why. I'll probably talk to you about it later this week. The reason why her and Elder and Catherine fell out because they used to be really good friends, and it's
Right.
really petty and stupid, but I love it.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
I will say, I mean, you have Speak with Dead, assuming that you're spending that. Oh wait, actually, Speak with Dead does. We've always rolled a little bit on that, so we'll roll that, but we'll do that next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't even think. I mean, with Catherine, she would probably just try and resurrect her, not even try to speak with. Although if it's not working, maybe she needs to try
I'm
that.
sorry,
I don't know.
whatever I said. I that's what I meant. What you're talking
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
why would I speak with her if I'm trying to?
I don't want to talk to her.
I don't want to talk to her more than I have to.
Cool. And last but not least, Quar, Mike.
What everybody said, I think that was a fun session. Everybody did great. I want to add to not just the scene with Milo and Zaras, but the way Jamie, you like kind of delivered the lines as Milo. You just dispatched like so much wisdom, just so nonchalantly. You're not even trying to be wise. You're just like, yeah, this is what I think. And people are like, what? Like I think Guar really tries hard to endear himself to people. You don't. Like Guar just wants to like recruit people to be in his army. Like whether that's like a good, whether that's like to actually fight or to just like, he wants to just like network all the time. But you were just like, yeah, grieving is like, honoring the work. And you got like the all-knowing person to be like, what?
That was such a good line. I don't know if you're taking
Isn't
that
that a
from
good
something,
fucking
but
line?
that was
It
such a
is.
good line.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
That just came up, and I was like, oh hell yeah.
It's really good.
You need a Milo shirt that just says like Milo Underdale honoring the work.
Honoring the work, yeah.
That was such a good line.
That's on the coat of arms for the Underdales, yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with the court thing. I mean, I also feel like I can also pull the whole Tall thing and be like, he's an agent of Tall, and he's one of the people that's responsible. He's the person responsible for all of this stuff that happened, and he's an agent of Tall, and I knew that. So be interesting to see how that goes. I also would really be interested, now that we've talked about it, for Eldrin to cast Speak to the Dead on Shark Boy. Not Lava Girl, just Shark Boy.
Just Shark Boy. Yes.
Yeah. Just
Taylor
Shark Boy.
Lautner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see where that goes. So
Mike, thank you for letting me come at you with everything. I will say I mean metagaming, I did know that your armor class was stupid high. So I took Great Weapon Master, but I didn't use it just in case.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun. Hexbloods are crazy, dude. Crazy. Anyways, well, gang, I think we are good. Hopefully we'll have Miranda next week. We will see on that. But until the meantime, I love you all. I hope you have an amazing week. And let's see how long Guar is in jail for. It might be life. Who knows?
Sleep tight, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.